Hi everybody, this is Christina from Card Creations and More by C. This is going to be my second video, and today we're going to do some quilling. I actually had a few comments left in the last month or so asking me for a quilling video, so I thought we would work on one of those tonight. I've already gone ahead and done most of the steps so that it moves along hopefully quicker than my last video did, which was like much longer than I anticipated. We're going to go ahead and make what I call a tag card. I first saw this type of card on Momo's blog, and I don't have the cartridge that she uses to make it, so I had to figure out how to make it myself. And you guys have probably seen some of this style on my website so far. What we're going to go ahead and start with is a piece of paper that is 11 inches long by 5 1/4. And I use the Martha Stewart scoreboard. So what I'm going to do first is score it at 5 1/2. And you just find that line and press down. Once is usually good for this paper. This is actually a reflections paper, or recollections from Michael's. And then what I'm going to do is go 1/2 inch in on each side, and I'm only going to score it down to the halfway mark. So what I'm going to do is go at 4.75, and I'm going to score it down and stop when I reach the halfway point. And then I'm going to go at the 1/2 inch mark. Now this one gets a little tricky. You kind of have to hold your paper tight and go slowly, or it can move on you. So 1/2 inch in, and then 4.75. So you're going to end up with 3 score lines like that. Then what we're going to do is take our scissors and just slit right there into the score line on each side. Okay. Now what I do, this next step I usually do with my rotary trimmer. Now this is my favorite paper trimmer. It's a Fisker's rotary trimmer. I love it, and it comes with different blade attachments that I can use. They actually make a smaller version of the same trimmer too, which is also very nice. Excuse me. I'm very thirsty today for some reason. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is line it up at 1/2 inch past, which should keep us right where our score line is. Put this down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look, and I'm going to push down on my blade pretty much right where that score line starts, and then come down. And that was perfect. So we get rid of that strip. And then, I forgot to set my timer again. How are we doing on time? Wow, 3.5 minutes done already. Okay, so I better go to 11 minutes. I try to set a timer so that I can keep track of how I'm doing on time. Okay, so same thing on the other side, except this time I'm going to start it up here, and I'm going to try to stop it right when I hit that center line. And I did pretty well. Okay. Get rid of that, and that's all we're going to be trimming because everything else is pretty much ready to go. So now we have, this is what it should look like. You have your 2 tabs. What we're going to do is fold them in, and we're going to, on the score lines, and use the bone folder to make them nice and creased, like so. Then what I do next is I kind of line this one up and crease it when I know that it's lined up properly. Then I'm going to put some ATG just on these folded over tabs, like that. And then I'm just going to close it up and try to keep it all lined up perfectly. Okay, good. So now what you have is your outer part. And see how easy that was to do without even having whatever cartridge it is that you can cut this card from. Then the next thing that I like to do is I'm just going to put a little circle cut out and I try to just line this up centered and just cut it out. So this way you have your little indent to see the tag. Now, my top layer for this outer part is going to be actually this piece of paper right here, and it's a purple sheet. It's cut at 4 by 5, and the whole outer part is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is a standard A2 size. So what I did, and if you look at my first video that's posted, and I do have a video link at the top of my site, which will have all of my videos, but you can see how I did this ribbon technique on an owl card. So I went ahead and did it. I just wanted a little something on each side. So we're just going to go ahead and adhere that down. I'm going to try to keep my ATG directly on the ribbon part so that it doesn't show through any little creases on that part. And then I'm going to put a good amount across each side. And I'm just going to go ahead and put one in the center, since this one might have a tendency to want to lift up a little bit. Okay, just a little bit of a ribbon thing. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to line it up on my card. I might need to look at what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm pretty much going to put it right to the bottom, but I'm going to leave a little bit of green paper showing on each of the sides. I think that looks very pretty. And I had just a little bit of overhanging green paper here. I'm going to just trim that away. So that's gone. Okay, so that is our outside, and we're actually going to do some quilling. But before we do that, I want to go ahead and actually, I need this adhesive and this one. This is going to be our layers for the tag that's going inside. This one is 4 by 5 1/2. My next layer is actually 3.75 by 5 1/4, and then 3 1/2 by 5. And we're just going to go ahead and adhere. We'll go with the purple one first, and then the green. I kind of think green goes really nicely with purple, and purple's my favorite color, so I kind of wanted to do the purple. And I'm just going to go ahead and line up the best that I can these mats. I love the ATG gun. When I made my last video, ooh, sorry, that was my refrigerator. It didn't sound too good. I had just gotten it that week, and I was still a little unsure about it, but I really, really, really love it. I'm so glad that I got it. So that's going to be our layer that's going to go on the inside. And it sits down in there perfectly, and you can start to see it. And then what we're going to do is use a little piece of ribbon, and we're going to just fold it up like that. What I like to use is this, it's called Crafty Power Tape. It's actually, I bet, very similar to score tape. It's extremely strong adhesive. And we're just going to put a little piece here in the center of the ribbon, and then we're going to fold it in a way that it kind of overlaps like that, but you don't really see the ribbon. Then I'm going to put one more little piece along the back. I actually don't want as much as I ripped off, but we'll get rid of some of it. I'll fold it over, fold it down a little bit. Okay, perfect. We're just going to stick that down, and then I'm going to just go ahead and cut that one. I love these X-Acto brand scissors for when I'm cutting ribbon. It works so nice. So I just kind of did it like that, and we're just going to burn our edges really fast. Hope I don't have to get a second memory card to make this movie. We'll see though. Okay, so that goes right into the inside. And then I'm going to leave that plain like that, and somebody could write a nice note on there. And then we're going to quill. So that is next. And I probably am going to have to do this on 2 separate memory